Good morning, students. We are in continuation of our chapter number 17, Forest. And today we will learn about food web. What do you mean by food web? In the last session, we learned about the food chain. How the animals are interlinked to each other. They are dependent on each other, right? Starting from the plants. Suppose the grass is eaten by a grasshopper, then frog eats the grasshopper, then the snake eats the frog. So this whole becomes a food chain. Now, when various food chains they get interlinked, they get connected to each other, then it forms a food web. It is not necessary that suppose a frog is there, grass is eaten by a grasshopper, and a grasshopper is eaten by a frog, and frog is eaten by a snake. Is it a fixed thing? No, because frog can be eaten by an eagle also. Grass can be eaten by some other insect also instead of grasshopper, isn't it? So there are various food chains which are interlinked to each other. Okay, for example, suppose here it is. The plants are there. ठीक है? Plants, they are eaten by the grasshopper. ठीक है? Plants are sometimes some of the part of the plants are eaten by the birds also. Okay, and these grasshopper is being eaten by the frog. Frog is eaten by the snake. Frog is also eaten by the eagle. Now the fruits are there. ठीक है? Fruits, the part of the plant only, they are eaten by the rats also. They are eaten by the birds. They are eaten by the rats. They are eaten by the grass is eaten by the grasshopper. Now this rat is eaten by the eagle also. Okay, and the snake eats the frog also, snake eats the rat also. So that means all the food chains, one of the food chain, the other food chain, they are all interlinked, and that forms the food web. Okay, so this is a food web. After that, we come on the dependence of plants on animals. Now, how are plants dependent on animals? We know that animals are dependent on plants. They need them for their food, isn't it? But how the plants are dependent on the animals? How? The plants are independent because the animals they help in the pollination of the flowers. How come? The animals or the insects, we take them in the one category only. The birds they come, suppose there is a honeybee, okay, that comes and sucks the nectar from the flower. So the pollen it gets stuck to its wings, or it gets stuck to its those tiny legs, and when it goes to the another flower, it drops the pollen grains over there. So in such a case, the pollination is taking place. Pollination means transfer of the pollen grains, right? So transfer of the pollen grains, they are taking place. It is taking place with the help of the birds. With they are taking place with the help of the insects. All these things, right? Then what happens? They also help in the dispersal of the seeds when the seeds are formed. See what happens. Sometimes the seeds they get stuck to the animal's fur. Okay, then the animals move to some other place, and those seeds they get dropped to the soil, and there the vegetation grows. Plants they cannot move from one place to another, but the seeds are carried by the animals in the form of, like I just told them. I told you that it gets stuck on their fur, or sometimes what happens, they eat the food, the fruit, and then the seed goes into the stomach, and when they excrete, that seed comes out as a waste product to some other place, and there it grows, right? So all these things they are helping in the dispersal of seeds. So this is how the plants are dependent on the animals. And one thing you know very well, that the plants they need carbon dioxide which they take from the animals. The animals they exhale the carbon dioxide, and plants take it for their photosynthesis. So one thing is there. So in this way the plants are also dependent on the animals. Now after that we come, this is the activity which we will not do. This is cut. We come to the uses of forests. You know very well what are the uses of forest. So we will just put them under the headings. First, they help in the purification of the air. How come? Because they take in the carbon dioxide and they give out the oxygen. The carbon dioxide which is produced by, exhaled by the animals, which is exhaled by the human beings, and which is produced by the various vehicles, industries, etc. All that is consumed by the forest or the trees for making their own food, and they give out the oxygen. So they help in the purification of the air. And that's why the forests are also called green lungs of the earth. Just remember that. This question is very often asked. What are referred as green lungs, or what are forests referred as? They are referred as green lungs of the earth. Now, you know that because of the depletion of the forest, because the forests are getting cut, so the level of carbon dioxide is increasing day by day. And that's why the temperature also is increasing, and that is causing to global warming. Right? Then it helps in keeping the temperature cool by transpiration. Now, what do you mean by transpiration? We have done in the earlier chapter also. Transpiration is the loss of water from the stomata of the plants. Plants also give out water through the tiny pores on the lower side of the leaf. Those are called stomata, right? And because of that transpiration, because of that water which comes out from the plants, it goes into the air. It evaporates to the air, and there it keeps the temperature cool. So you must have seen wherever there are forests, there the temperature is always low because of that presence of that water in the air. Then we have rainfall also due to the forest. How come? How come the forest they lead to the rainfall? Because they lose water. They give out the water through transpiration. That water goes up in the atmosphere. Through evaporation, it goes up. There it condenses, and then it comes down as in the form of rain, which is called precipitation. So more forests are there, more rainfall will be there. So it helps in the rainfall. Then what happens? The dead leaves of the forest, of the trees which fall down on the ground, they help in preventing the evaporation. Now what does that mean? See, if there are no forest, what will happen? The soil will become very dry. Why? Because there will be nothing to hold that water which has gone on the soil. Sun's heat will take away that water from the soil, and the soil will become dry. But the dead leaves which fall on the ground, they help in preventing that evaporation. Okay. Then the roots also, the roots of the plants, they hold the soil, and they help in the seepage of rainwater. When rain comes, the rainwater goes very easily into the soil with the help of those roots. Okay, so roots, they play two roles. First, they are helping in the seepage of the rainwater, and they also prevent the soil erosion. Why? Because they are binding, they are holding the soil tight. Whenever the flood comes, or the water from in a very high speed, it comes from through the rivers, the roots, they do not allow that soil to get washed away. So in that way, it is also helping in preventing the soil erosion, the roots. Now, then we have the forest uses in our daily life, because we get a lot of medicines from the forest, we get honey from the forest, we get the other things, the paper also we get made, right? Food we are getting because of the vegetation, we are getting food from the forest. Timber we get, rubber we get, spices we get, all other things, daily needs are getting fulfilled with the help of forests. Then what happens? The wildlife photography. When we do photography, then it creates the awareness about the forests and the animals. How do we come to know about the different forests and the different kind of animals or endangered species? Through the photography. The more people go to the forest, they click the photographs, and they learn about the animals. Okay, that this animal is getting extincted. Now we do not find that in that large number. So all that we come to know through the wildlife photography or the videos they shoot. So the forests are important for creating awareness also. Then it promotes the tourism also, because now it is a trend that people want to go for a safari, they want to go visit a jungle to see the animals, different kind of animals, different kind of trees, all the other things, for educational point of view also, and to get relaxation from the daily life. So it promotes the tourism also. So all these are the uses of forest. Now after that we come on the destruction of forest. Now, what do you mean destruction? The deforestation is the destruction of large amount of trees in a forest and overuse of forest resources. That is deforestation. Cutting a large number of trees and using the forest resources more than expected. Why? Why the people are cutting the forest? Now, these are the reasons. We'll just study from here. The construction of dams, highways, and clearing of forests to convert them into cultivable land and residential areas. The population is growing, so the people need more and more land for industries, for their homes, for cultivation, for growing crops, and that's why they are cutting the forest to build the dams and highways. For that, they are getting cut. The need for timber and medicinal plants resulting in illegal logging and smuggling of the precious forest products. The timber, the wood is being used for furniture, is being used for building so many other things in the building material like doors, windows. More and more houses are being built, more and more wood we need. For industries also they need the wood. So for that need of timber and the medicinal plants, they are doing the legal logging. Illegal logging means which is not approved. Sometimes they are not even approved, but still they are cutting the forest. Then construction of resorts in and around forest leading to the destruction. People want to build their resorts in remote areas so that the people get attracted. For that, they are simply destructing the forests. Lack of awareness in people about the importance of forest. People are just thinking, अरे एक दो पेड़ काट भी कुछ पेड़ काट भी दिए तो क्या हो गया? But they are not thinking to which capacity, to which extent the forests are being cut and how much problem it will pose for the future generation. Awareness is not there. Overgrazing in forests by cattle from nearby villages. What are they doing? People are sending their cattle because the land is not there, the grass is not there around their villages. So they are sending it to the forest, and what happens? The cattle, they just eat up more and more plants, more and more trees, the shrubs, the herbs, and in this way also it is leading to destruction of forest. Then forest fires. This is one of the very important thing. Fires due to dry summer months and also due to human negligence. People are not thinking that how much wastage or how much damage is being made due to the forest fires, because forest fires do not get extinguished in just one go. They keep on burning for months and months. Sometimes it gets so difficult to get control on that fire, but people are not realizing that. Then poaching or hunting of animals for their meat, skin, and bones, causing a decrease in the number of animals and disturbance in the food chain. So, all these are the reasons for destruction of forest or deforestation. Now, after that, what are the consequences of deforestation? What are the results of this? With no plants and trees to hold the soil together, the soil gets washed away by strong winds and flowing water. So the soil gets washed away. The fertile soil, the upper layer which is very fertile, it gets washed away and the soil becomes barren. Then, though no crops can be cultivated on that. Things like wood, medicine, etc., and various other products which we obtain from the forest would no longer be available if deforestation carries on indiscriminately. Don't think that forests are there for lifelong, for forever. No, they will come to an end, and then the plants or the other things, timber, various other things which we are taking from the forest will not be available. The most important consequence of deforestation is a change in the climate. Without a forest cover, the amount of carbon dioxide will increase, which is happening. Carbon dioxide is increasing, and it will aid in global warming, increasing the temperature on the earth. It has already been done. Okay. Animals will lose their natural habitat and they might even die. This will eventually lead to an extinction of different species. Now, whenever you go to mountain areas, why do you see so many monkeys over there? Monkeys going on the road and monkeys in the temples. Monkeys, they are just snatching your things. Why? Because their habitat has been lost. Their forest where they were staying have been cut down. So where they will go? They will come on the roads. They will come in the cities. Where else they will go? So we are actually taking away their homes. So just imagine if anybody takes away your home, how will you feel? So people should think before cutting the forest. Now, what are the ways of conservation of forest? This we will do in the next session. I hope the things are clear to you, right?